sir. 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. Just to fucking be pedantic, right?
I'm not
and
being
petty. No pun intended regarding the petty bourgeois, right? Because I'm sure you're a revolutionary, and as soon as you got some power, you wouldn't see yourself as being like a less than or disenfranchised from the people, right? Because I'm sure you have delusions of grandeur and revolution that you wouldn't preclude yourself from because of your economic status and your education level, right? You'd still deem yourself a worthy leader. Yeah. I'm almost done, bro. You'd still deem yourself a worthy fucking leader of the movement, right? And when they question your bona fides, hey, bro, didn't you grow up in a nice American home with good parents and a good education? You'll say, so what? My heart belongs to the people. I'm here for you guys. Right? So anyway, your arguments against the point. If you have something that you like to say, just go ahead and fucking say it. You don't have to call people dumb. You can just say the reason why Karl Marx isn't the father of Shut up, bro. Like, stop. Bro. When you cried about being interrupted, you know what? Everybody acquiesced. Bro. When you cried about being overtalked, everybody. Bro, please shut up, bro. What's going on? You're crashing out.
There's no mod. This is just, you make it a place where we don't interrupt each other.
Okay, please, thank you. I appreciate it, Luca, but you're over talking me too, and that just like adds to the cacophony of noises and anyway. So the whole thank you to Luca to get this fucking monkey to calm down. I appreciate that. But anyway, if you have a point about who you think is more apropos or more deserving of the title, the father of communism, just post a fucking name. Post a fucking seminal work. Shut the fuck up, faggot. Shut the fuck up, faggot.
Okay.
Post a seminal work that everybody appeals to. Shut the fuck up, faggot. Post a seminal work that everybody appeals to when they talk about the concept of communism, and then let's see if it compares to the... Shut up, faggot.
You're the one who...
Let's just shut up, faggot. It's not your turn yet, faggot.
You interrupted me.
It's not your turn yet, faggot.
You interrupted me.
Okay, you've been interrupted. Cry fucking more, faggot.
I'm not crying.
You've got it out now. You were interrupted. Now, shut up, bro. You've been interrupted. We heard you. We heard your tears. Shut the fuck up, please. Shut up, please. Thank you. Appreciate you. Anyway, so just post a fucking person, post a seminal work, and then what we can do is
I'm trying to talk about it right now.
Faggot, wait till I'm done. Just wait till I'm done, faggot. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Anyway, and then what we can do is we can do a comparison to see who comes first in the mind of people who are proponents of such a fucking economic system, and see if Marxism comes first to mind or this other person that you post. Go ahead.
It's not
just post.
It's been posted. You interrupted me, and then went on this diatribe. So if you actually go and...
Do you mind if I start interrupting you now? Would you like that? Would you like me to not let you to say anything uninterrupted now? I can do it. You're not gonna like it, right? You're gonna cry more. So what I would advise you to do, if you're trying to de-escalate something and you don't want something to perpetuate, just stop being a faggot bitch and just let it go. Just stop. But being a crybaby bitch is just gonna encourage me to like hear more tears, right?
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, the only reason I responded to you is because you were saying claims about my life, which are not true. I do not come from a wealthy background. I do not have a specialized education. I went to art school. So the things I learned on my own. I come from one of the poorest regions of West Philadelphia. I had a single mother. My father shot himself when I was 11.
So you are worthy to lead the people's revolution. But guess what? You're having a very American-centric view on this. What we're going to say is, by world standards, you are in the upper class. You're not even middle class. You're in the upper class by world standards. So this isn't a good argument against you being petty bourgeois.
Again, no, that doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm a worker. Anyway, my point isn't that I should lead. I don't even believe in that, because that's not what socialism is. There are no individual leaders, and at least the tendency that I follow. The working class, through militant unions, needs to lead. So that shoots down your idea that I want to be a leader. I don't. Anyway, let's get to the link. Now that I've corrected all that nonsense. So pre-Marxist communism, when Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels defined communism as a political movement in 1848, similar ideas had already been used as a base for one could call communist experiments. Marx saw himself as an original hunter-gatherer saw the original hunter-gatherer state of humanity as a primitive communism, or primitive formation of communism, and also research pre-existing communist
work.
None of that
What's the seminal work?
Okay, look, Comrade didn't understand what I said then. You don't understand what I said. Here, Karl Marx created an exportable political system, a way in which a society could be rearranged and organized. That didn't exist before Karl Marx. And I say that he is the founder of communism, a system in which another country can adopt and apply. That didn't exist. You had a bunch of fucking unions running around. That's not a system. It's just a bunch of niggas that are unionizing and organizing against them. That's not communism.
Black?
It's not communism as a society. Karl Marx created that. In the same way that Adam Smith, capitalism existed before Adam Smith. Before his work, The Wealth of Nations, there wasn't a list of attributes, detailed attributes that a system would be identified by as being capitalist. Before Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations, how things get produced, how things ought to get produced, how people ought to be compensated fairly in the free market. Before Adam Smith, that didn't exist. Do you get me? I'm not saying, no one's saying Adam Smith created capitalism in the way that I'm not saying Karl Marx created communism. What he did was create something that would be applicable to the rest of the world. And so the communism that we're talking about is Karl Marx's communism, not a bunch of niggas forming unions.
And what I'm saying, the idea of communism existed in idealist and utopian forms prior to Karl Marx.
Nobody said there wasn't like a proto-communistic fucking view. Post the person in the seminal work that we should appeal to in terms of communism. If not, you're just being a pedantic weirdo, as per usual. This is your second time being pedantic and weird. Just like, bro, what's going on? It's like low social skills or some shit? Like, what's going on?
That's you
Do
projecting.
you know how people interact and have conversations? Karl Marx is the founder of communism. It was somebody else. Okay, where's the seminal work?
Not a founder.
Where's the seminal work? Give it to us. Pause.
So you asking for a seminal work is like a straw man.
Okay, great. How do we know this person, sir? How is this person known for their contribution?
There's no person, there is no seminal work.
There needs to be, if it's a governmental system, where's the Constitution?
Wait. First of all, communism is not
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's been applied by governments, adopted by governments, and executed by governments.
No, it's
yes.
Or can you just name anybody who wrote about it, right? Because we look at the Communist Manifesto, right? What are some other works that predate?
Well, I mean, if you go in the link, they talk about the philosophy of communism in its idealist forms and much of pre-modern.
It sounds like he's talking about the atomic thesis of communism, like different thinkers that contributed, right? We have Karl Marx like bringing it together in one work, Communist Manifesto. Right?
So, No, Karl Marx gave a material meaning to communism. Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx gave a material meaning to communism, but it was used colloquially for a long period of time. Also, it is important to note that communism is not a government, right? Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels describe communism as a stage of society. It is a stage of human development. And once society reaches that stage, you reach a state of stateless, meaning that there are no nations, right? Classless, meaning that there's no specific way and manner that a group of individuals need to toil, and nor is that managed, and moneylessness. So this idea that communism is a government application is just backward. That's not correct.
I would have always thought that communism is like impossible bullshit, but now we have like AI, and in a few more years, like the robots can already think as good as people, if not better, right? Once they create like humanoid robots that can execute with the fine motor skills required to like be a plumber, be a construction worker. Like the interesting thing is like the educated people will be replaced with computers first. Then they'll make robots that can physically replace the people that stack boxes and like do all of that shit. Then there'll be no jobs. Like jobs will be deleted in like 300 years. And there will just be like technocrats who own the world, right? As a side effect of that, there'll probably be like some revolution where people just take control and everybody has robot slaves or some shit. That sounds far-fetched, but I think that's probably what's gonna happen. And that'll just be fucking communism. That's a high-ass thought. Let me put my blunt down. Hold on.
I mean, it sounds great, but I don't think it'll get to that point. Just I think, and I agree with Concrete. Like, just boil it down to just like human behavior. I mean, communism is a good economic theory, and I think like some people some people use it wrong in terms of just like, let's just say for example China, and some people may call them like a communist state, which isn't. I think like a good example would be just like here in America where you have, the libs, they're more so trying to be progressive in terms of communists. I mean, it's not like, I don't know, highly like relevant right now, but I just think that is the best way they're trying to get to, and like this outlook of communism. But I don't think communism is a thing. It's a good idea, but then again, in comparison to human behavior, I don't think we'll be able to reach that point.
One thing that I asked, dude, is like, so you say a classless, stateless, moneyless society. How would people acquire goods in a moneyless society? Goods and services. How would you?
Well, again, it's a stage of society. So when we're talking about stages of society, this is like akin to the Industrial Revolution or the Agricultural Revolution, which means that we reach a point of either social organization or productive development that necessarily changes forever the way that we function, right? For there to be a communist society, our productive capacity would have to reach a point where it meets all of the needs of people on Earth, right? And if all of our needs are met via what is generated, we generate enough energy, enough food, enough water. We're readily enough connected that we can travel freely. There's enough homes to house all people. The necessity, the need for fiat currency.
I think you've misunderstood my question. Like, I think you fundamentally misunderstood the question, because I'm asking you.
I think you fundamentally misunderstand what I just said.
No, but I've received your answer before, so that's how I know you don't understand what I'm saying. So I'm saying, in your world, if I wake up in not your world, being pedantic, right? So under that worldview, if I wake up in the morning and I want to acquire milk, how do I do that?
This isn't a worldview. Communism is a word, right, that describes...
You're evading the question on purpose, right?
I'm answering your question. I need you to really comprehend this. It is analogous to the agricultural revolution. So what was different prior to the agricultural revolution? Well, let me finish what I'm saying. Prior to the agricultural revolution, we mostly functioned nomadically. We had to go and find our material resources through the land. We had not yet built up enough farms, enough small plots. We had not yet mastered the methods of breeding food and ensuring that it was constantly there, right, to stay in one place.
This is a long analogy. I'm really just a question answer kind of guy.
I am trying to answer your fucking question, so stop interrupting me.
You're
right?
tap dancing.
So once I'm not tap dancing, this is like as thorough as I can. So once we were able to farm and generate food that you can eat long term, that you can get all year round, all throughout multiple seasons, it allowed us to stay in one place rather than migrate. The reason why this is analogous to communism is because if the issue is, right, there is a limited supply of a single resource or resources in general, and you need money to access that due to scarcity, the elimination of scarcity of resources, meaning that we have a productive system, we have machinery, technique, tools of trade, and automated systems that allow us to mass produce nearly anything plausible for human necessity. In that society, there is no need, right, for money.
Right, so the answer to my question is not, if you consider, like Hunter, the answer is everything will be fully automated and made available to you through technology, right? So the long-ass story is fucking unnecessary. If I ask, how do you get goods and services, the answer is the workforce will be fully automated, right?
I mean, it's too hypothetical.
I just answered the question in 5 fucking seconds. You gave a fucking speech about hunter-gatherer.
But again, you need to understand that it is about the production and the productive forces reaching that capacity.
Yeah, I think that capacity is inevitable with the technology that we have. Eventually, all this shit will be automated, right? I mean, and that's what's up. I mean, so I guess like your answer to the question is automation. One word answer. Thank you.
It doesn't need to be automation. No.
Okay, now that's a bit. So that's where I'm trying to get at, because most communists wouldn't say we have robots doing everything, and that's why their shit does not make sense to me, because I can't imagine a world where human labor is necessary to produce goods and services, but we don't have a medium of exchange. And if there is a world, such a framework through which people could acquire goods and services, please enlighten me.
It's called a planned economy.
Okay. Elaborate.
Okay, so for example, you know how the United States produces so much food that it could feed like 33% of the world's entire population. Actually, that's incorrect. I take that back. The United States throws away enough food, right? This is the food that it throws away that it could feed 33% of the entire world's population. You know about that?
Yeah, we have abundance. I'm not familiar with the exact. I can concede that point. I'll go with you.
Yeah, so we exist in material abundance. Also, the United States has far more vacant living spaces in its continental borders than there are homeless and housing insecure people on its continental borders. Many times over. I think it's like 32 times over.
Yeah, we got more houses than homeless. I'm aware of that.
Mm-hmm. And the United States has an issue where it wastes the vast majority. I think it's like well over 60% of the energy it uses because we have no energy storage.
The issue with the world that you're building, though, is the issue that I'd like you to address, though.
Not talking about.
I don't think you're addressing.
I'm trying to get you to understand something. So, within the boundaries of the current nation that we exist, right? We already generate enough food to feed all people in this country many times over. since we already have enough food to feed a third of the entire planet. We already have enough homes to house everyone. And we already have enough energy to meet the energy demand.
I agree with all that shit, bro. What is your thesis?
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
You said we have abundance in all these various aspects. I agree.
Fucking finish talking.
But you never make a point, bro.
I'm making a point. This is all relevant and important. Given that, right, what we then realize is the cost of buying materials, right, is excessive. It is unnecessary, right? Because we have already generated more than enough resource to fulfill the needs of the population. So really what we then need to understand is like, okay, so why does food even cost anything? And also, how is food grown? Most farms are subsidized by the United States because they're too important to fail. You also need to manage them due to germs, and when I mean germs, I mean diseases that affect both plants and animals, which is why they are managed by the government and why there is a Food and Drug Administration. Right?
What question did I ask you?
You are asking me about why, right, or how do things get done without money? And I'm trying to explain to you.
But I would like to refine my question because you've been talking for a long time, right? I'm asking you, in a system where human labor is required for work, to produce goods, right? Because we're not talking about automation. Human labor is required to produce goods. Why would humans labor in a systematic way to sustain a society without payment to do so on a regular basis? Like, why would everybody just get up and go to work and work on the farm to make enough food for everybody? Allow me to finish. If there's a moneyless society and no one's getting paid, why would the perfect amount of people wake up and go farm the food for this society and make the guacamole and make the hamburgers at the restaurant? If no one's getting paid, then and there's a moneyless society, why would there be waiters in this restaurant?
Can I actually respond, since I already understand that? So
okay.
The why is a philosophical question. It is effectively meaningless. The actual importance here is, are needs being met, right? So if we live in a society, right, where we consider we are utilizing money, we need to consider.
But why is my question meaningless? Because I feel like that's a non-answer. Because I'm telling you,
not. Can you allow me to finish my track of thought?
No, you can't.
He can't. I can finish my track of thought. In a society, right, where we do spend money, why are we spending it? Well, people are paying the rent. They're paying for the roof over their head. They're paying for their gas. They're paying for their electricity. They're paying to feed themselves and take care of their kids, and etc. So the money is primarily being spent on fulfilling the needs of the people. In a society without money, where our economy is planned, where there is material abundance, right, and the needs of the people are being met, the question is, what is the purpose of the money? So the why would be, rather than asking why are they working without money? No, it's saying, what are they working for? They are working, right, to provide what is necessary. They are working to provide for needs.
Understood. So I need this building that I live in. I don't know how to build it. Now, in a society without money, why would construction workers build this brand new apartment for me to live in?
Maybe because we live in a collective society, right? Where, again, there is a planned economy, and those construction workers may have the skill at building homes, but they might not know how to grow food. And maybe you know how to grow food, and they want to eat, right? But they understand that in order for them to eat, right, all the people that grow the food need a home.
I understand that, and the thing is, you have a stateless society too, right? That doesn't mean there's no form of government. That just means there's not like a state. And I understand that you can have organized systems of production without having a state. Totally get that. But without I feel like without any, you're saying that people would feel inspired. Like, okay, you're saying because there's no financial compensation, right? It's something akin to bartering and trading, and people just naturally feeling like, well, I need to be a part of this organization that goes and builds apartments because people need apartments. But there's never been a society like that. Like, there's never been a society where people. I just believe that you have a worldview such as the one that you describes hinges on a fundamental misunderstanding of what motivates human beings to engage in labor on such a massive scale that you can have functioning societies. I think that it just hinges on that fundamental misunderstanding of what motivates humans to do anything, right? In such a substantial way that you can accommodate large countries. Now, sure, you can have like small villages where they're like, they have a garden, and these are the gardeners, and then you have like the plumber, and he fixes everybody's plumbing. But like, you cannot run a country like that. You can't really run a society like that.
I mean, I think that we are saying two different things. I am telling you that our goal would be to create a planned economy, and socialism, right, which Marx described as the lower stage of communism. There's no necessity to eliminate fiat currency, and initially you would not. You would have to transition because you would have to build up the unionized connections of Soviets in order to exchange resources. These type of things aren't something that you like decide to stop using. Like, you wouldn't just wake up and say, oh, we're not going to use money anymore. They would need to die away, right? The necessity of money would need to die away as society gradually changes. Like, for example, during the agricultural revolution, and this is why I brought it up, as we started to plant food in different places, like at first, the food that we were planting and breeding didn't have large yields. They didn't have large fruiting bodies. It wasn't enough calories to feed all of us. The food wasn't widely diversified. We had to breed these foods. We had to plant them in specific areas. They didn't survive every season. That is why you see, like, even after the agricultural revolution, that there were severe famines. It took time, gradually, right, through development, for us to create a system where we could stay in one place. But once it was in place, it was commonplace, right? That's just how it was.
Disanalogous. So the reason why that's disanalogous is because you're saying eventually the day will come where we don't need money, but people will still go to work. And I'm asking you, what will motivate these people? Because the work is necessary. Like, if the people do not go to work, the whole system fails.
Well, it's not.
So if you allow me to finish real quick, right? So, like, you're saying that socialism would have a fiat currency as a stepping stone to the step where there's no more money needed, but people still go to work. I'm saying you skipped a step, and you never allow me to ask you a question then. Are you saying that socialism with a fiat currency will be a stepping stone, and we will progress after it establishes such abundance? We'll establish such abundance, right? That we will that through means perhaps that I haven't understood, the need for money will become unnecessary, and it will slowly be abolished, but the plumbers will still be plumbers, and the teachers will still be teachers, and the guy that comes to kill the rats and get the roaches out of the apartments, he's still going to come do that. But no one's getting paid any money, but everybody's going to work, right?
No, again, you're applying this.
So what's wrong about what I said?
You're talking about work. Right?
No, I'm talking about these are needs. Like, I need this apartment built. She needs an exterminator. Those are not wants. Those are needs. Concede that those are needs.
What I am saying.
Do you concede that those are needs?
Finish what I am saying, and then you will understand. So please allow me to talk. You are talking about work as if there is a job that you get up to and clock in. If you're talking about needs, that is...
I'm not talking about work.
Let me finish.
I'm not talking about work, though.
Let me finish.
Why?
What I am saying.
If we disagree on definitions and you don't know what I'm saying...
I am trying to finish what I am saying.
So I'm not talking about work. So keep talking about work.
Let me finish what I am saying.
Just know that I'm not talking about work.
Let me finish what I am saying. If we are talking about just meeting the need. Like, for example, there is a finite amount of people. There will be a finite amount of people. The goal, right, of creating apartment complexes, or the goal of creating material abundance, is to meet those needs. We're not just going to sit there and be like, in a planned economy, and be like, oh, well, there's currently today, June 16th, there's currently 8.1 billion people on this planet. I guess all we need is 8 billion homes. That doesn't make any sense, right?
I never said we were going to do that. Why are you talking about that?
Oh my fucking God.
You're doing a straw man, though.
I'm not doing a straw man.
Then what the fuck is the relevance of what you just said?
I'm not arguing. You must not be very intelligent if you don't understand the relevance of what I said.
You're talking about shit I'm not talking about. That's the problem.
You just brought up someone building apartments, like that has full relevance to what we're talking about, right?
Then you just said today everyone's gonna wake up and build apartments for eight. No, you're doing a straw man. I never said that something as simple as that can happen.
That's what
you're intentionally dodging the point.
I am not.
You will not talk about what motivates people to do work in that society. You will not say why people do work. You just tell fucking stories.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just going to say Kane. But I need you to comprehend that when you talk about motivation...
This guy's retarded and fucking dumb.
When you talk about motivations for people, that is a philosophical notion, right? Okay, well, he rage quit, whatever. That was interesting.
Yeah, that dude left.
Did we talk about the bad parade that Donald Trump did? I was kind of disappointed, man.
His birthday
Yeah, man, I was kind of disappointed at the parade. I was expecting some nice shit. We're good at putting this kind of shit together.
It was cool. It was cool.
So, Matt, what you're telling me is that you and your family wore matching Donald Trump "We Love You" t-shirts and shorts and went to the parade and were highly disappointed? Is that...
No, I was expecting...
Wait, no?
Hold on, say that again. I didn't hear everything.
I said, I take it that you and your family wore matching "We Love Donald Trump" t-shirts and went to the parade. You spent the day off and you went to the parade. Is that not what happened?
No, I went to a wedding.
No?
I went to a wedding. Yeah, I went to a wedding in Arizona yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Because I was expecting, I'm like, you know how like when you see the Chinese and the Russian, even the fucking French can do this shit right. And I'm like, why our guys are not in their class A? They were like in the military green, and I'm like, yeah, bro, what happened to, like, can you imagine, like, the Marines? They have such a beautiful uniform, and they were not in it. It was kind of a bit disappointing, because I didn't like the marching.
It
was the army. It was just the army, not just the military, but the army. The army is the Greens. So we had to represent.
Also, they did like cool stuff. There were people there cheering. The people that attended were happy. They went through every war era. They went through every uniform associated with it. Even had like a fake George Washington on a horse. Like it was, it was a parade. It was fun. to see.
Have you ever seen the Chinese parade?
I don't.
But they have a whole military parade, though. But this was just the Army's birthday. Just the Army.
So you guys don't have Class A uniform, like the suit and tie and shit?
Yeah, of course. We have the class of dress blues, Class A is without the jacket and everything like that. But yeah, but that's the formal events, you know? This is the Army's birthday.
I wanted to see the shit that is like where everybody walking lockstep with the high kick and shit. I didn't see none of that shit.
They also had like I think they were collector's items and not like actual historical military stuff, because the men that were driving them were not in uniform. So like there were
battery change.
There were opportunities for like civilians to participate as well in that one.
I wonder next year is the U.S. birthday, what, 250, I think? Next is gonna be 250, right? I want to see like one of those amazingly well choreographed military parade with like airplane flying over with the fucking show us some of them, missiles that our tax dollars pay for.
But the Army doesn't have airplanes.
The Army doesn't have airplanes?
Nah, they got. Yeah, they are, right? But they don't pilot airplanes. That's the Marines and it's the Navy. Marines and the Air Force. The Army has the helicopters, the Blackhawks, the Chinooks, those. But they don't have any planes. Anything to do with planes in the Army, those are like joint operations with the Air Force and the Army.
Why do you want to call it Donald Trump's birthday parade? I saw also the cake, and it also was dedicated to the 250th anniversary of the military, Army specifically. Like Trump wasn't actually. It didn't say Happy Birthday Army, but also Trump. He was there.
No, I don't think he was happy. I saw some of the pictures. He didn't look happy.
Oh.
Does he ever?
He could have had something. I don't know. I was expecting, like the way, because the Russian just did Victory Day, and that should look good. That should look good. I was expecting something similar.
Okay.
I feel you, man. But the winners don't go out there and showboat, The name alone does it. You have to do it like they tell people who have it, you don't want to go out there like you have it. You want to blend in. I think that the U.S. was the one like that. It was a modest. Like when North Korea, when Russia do it, they go all out because they're trying to show that they do have power.
Right.
But the people who have power, they don't need to do.
Oh, they're both dictatorships. Maybe Matt just like.
Oh, well, hey, listen, man. Sometimes you gotta embrace who you are. Listen, I'm a little bit upset at Israel anyway, but still.
What do they have to do with the parade?
No, not the parade, right? No, next week is my wife's birthday, right? And we were gonna go to Alula in Saudi Arabia. Now we have to cancel because these niggas is just, making shit not safe in the region. Like they could have waited a month or something, but now I gotta scramble and find something else to go do.
I'm so glad that you are prioritizing, your wife and her birthday. I don't think the rest of the world is beholden to that, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's by choice.
Happy birthday! This is not.
Not sure it's by choice, but you gotta do what you gotta do. My wife is turning 36, and my daughter said yesterday, "Mommy, you're getting old." And I was like, "Oh, thank God you said it, not me."
So the women in my family do the thing where everybody turns 29 repeatedly. I, however, broke from that. I don't care. I'm allowed to be old and get older and celebrate as I go. Yeah, like, but also if we're all living to like 120 now, she's still like, she's not even hit her quarter life crisis, or barely.
Yeah, I still think when we're getting old, now she wear kitten heels. She doesn't do the high heels anymore, which is good because now I don't have to carry fucking shoes and shit.
Those are the Michelle Obama heels.
I love that for you, man.
Nathan, knowledge you there?
Yo.
So I was in a room earlier, and Barth and that one guy Andrew were talking about were both mods.
Oh yeah, he's online. The Amen or Iman.
Yeah, and I heard him going back and forth with Albedo.
How do you think it's gonna go with?
Fuck, dude, the guy's pretty goddamn passive.
So your confidence is wavering?
I just understand. Look, it's not impossible, dude. So I understand how these things can like have an effect on the psychology of people, but yeah, it's fucking. But him and Barth were up there like fucking side by side green bean homies. They were like, there was a third man in there too, but
wait, Amen and Barth or
yeah. They're both.
Oh yeah, Barth does that.
I don't know if it was Barth's room though, but they were up. But Barth was quiet though. This guy was like, he was going back and forth with Albedo. Albedo's a fucking black belt, and so Albedo was like, you could tell he just had momentum and was piecing him up. But Barth's no Albedo. But Barth wasn't getting in on the action though either. He was just quiet. But I was listening to him speak, and I was like, this person doesn't seem like somebody I would want to listen to. No offense. So this is going to be funny if it goes down.
So you would prefer someone who's more a personality match for Barth, like really high energy?
I mean, remember that guy that debated Lion? He's like, oh, I cut you. See, I cut you. Remember that shit?
I don't think I was there for that.
Listen, I like Lion, but he got Lion. It wasn't even close. In like combat, if you get like a 10-8 round, it means that like you dominated, and I think it was a domination. I think Lion got any shots because he brought it to Lion, and he brought it hard. And then at the end, Lion was like, "Oh, you're an FBI agent."
Oh wow.
So, yeah. So if it's like that's preferred, but I don't get to choose, so I still have faith in Bart's stupidity. So.
Look, as I said, I've only ever heard that Barth was some remarkable philosopher champ and never actually witnessed it. And I'm just going on the reputation of Nathan and knowledge.
Me too.
That's it.
Me too. And it's funny because I know that like they're loyal to their people, which I respect. But that could actually be a curse. It's like if you have a black belt and like a purple belt taps you out, that's like you leave with shame. So sometimes having the black belt's a curse because you have a target on your back. Because people are hungry, they want to tap the black belts. So.
Oh, so you think this has been a years-long troll?
No, I think trolling is always a backdoor to explain his inability to do what he claims he can do. That's what I think. I don't think there's, I think he's like, you can just tell him like how he speaks, he's just not that smart. And I know that, dude. I was fucking special ed, fucking 3rd grade. I know how it is. I know what it's like to not spell. You gotta think of a fucking alternate word because you can't fucking write the word down and shit that you really want to use. Like, I know what that's like. I know my kind, trust me.
Do they put the ADHD kids in special ed?
They did with me. It's fucking...
Yeah, but that was before, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what they do now. I think that conversation that I had with King about AI is going to be able to help a lot, because if you can find like a child's strong suit and then like know how to teach them the way they can best absorb information, I think that that would be a great thing. I wish I had that available to me, because then you don't think that school's not for you, or maybe it reduces that at least, because that's like how I felt. I was like, oh, this shit ain't for me. I'm not like a school person.
Yeah, I look forward to that being incorporated into more schools. There's, you know, versions of it out there at the moment, at least one that I'm aware of. Yeah.
We got that new AI too that can make movies. Hollywood,
Yes.
dude.
Now Hollywood isn't done. Bro, look, think about it like this, Mike. Technology always trickle down. What I mean by that is, what we got is the bootleg version of the stuff the Hollywood was already utilizing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. You know how, like, you know what, like, YouTube did to, like, mainstream media? I think that this AI, like, movie generator shit is gonna do that to, like, Hollywood, where now people are gonna be, like, just able to put out their own content, and it can get famous, and it's not gonna require actors or, like, movie sets or anything like that, because the work's gonna be done for them. That's what I'm saying.
I know, I see what you're saying. Well, I think it's going to be like a subscription-based thing on like a lot of the models, like some of the rigs and all that other stuff. Maybe you might have to pay for that, maybe for likeness. I don't know how they're going to do it, but definitely Hollywood is going to benefit from this. I don't think they're done. I think they have a huge stake in this.
Yeah, you're right. Let me change it. What I mean is like just like the you know, the actors of fucking sex couches, stuff like that. I think that's I don't think that's you don't have to do that anymore.
What about a premium on actors? Maybe the market might become less saturated. Right? Because right now it's oversaturated with a whole bunch of actors and everything like that. Now, you might not need extras and all that other stuff. They can be AI generated. You're right. But if you want something authentic, you'll pay a little extra money for real actors instead of AI generated actors. Because there are limitations on them.
Right now there are, but like.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't see it. I would love to make my own movie. I know what movie I would make too.
What type of movie?
I would make a movie about Superman beating the shit out of fucking Batman. Like realistic shit. This idea that Batman's IQ is somehow going to be able to like get Superman is so retarded to me. Because Superman's an alien, bro. He already has a high IQ.
That is a rich guy with a utility belt. Like, it's not a real fight. It's not a fucking fight.
You stay in the sky and you shoot your laser and it's done.
But that's the thing, in that world, when you have a lot of money, it's like you have magic powers. You can do anything with money.
Nah, you can't do what Superman can do.
You can't take a punch to the face from Superman.
You can buy something that can do what Superman can do.
No, Superman is powered by the yellow sun, right? That's why he's different than the other Kryptonians. And as long as he has the fucking sun, then guess what? And then not only that too, if you really look at some of the stuff that Superman's been able to do, and it depends what type of Superman you're talking about. I forgot what the Superman.
Superman 100 or something like that. I know which one you're talking about.
Bro,
yeah, that one is like a god.
Yeah, you can't beat that guy, bro. I just want to ridicule these Batman people because. Yeah,
so look, Batman is the person that always think one step ahead, right? That's a unique trait about him. So whatever story you write, Batman's gonna always go one step ahead of Superman. That's just part of who he is.
So Superman, and I don't know the science, okay? So don't at me. But in an episode of this show, he spanned the world around so quickly in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, that he reversed time.
That he reversed time, and you're telling me that a guy in spandex with a utility belt is gonna be able to stop him from doing that, and just.
No, he isn't going to stop him from doing that. He is going to offer preventative measure in case he does do something like that.
Yeah, like what?
But he's impacted by the reversal of time. He's not able to step outside of that with his utility belt.
No, it's like as soon as Superman,
he threw a rock at him, and that's it. He went.
Okay, look, I just asked ChatGPT right now, who has a higher IQ, Batman or Lex Luthor? Who do you think won?
Lex.
And who did Superman beat over and over again?
Lex.
Thank you. I'm gonna get my
baby.
No, I'm still listening. I swear my baby's crying. I swear. I'm still listening.
Look,
Your audio went out, Nathan.
Yeah.
It's right. He had a protocol measure. Sorry. Yeah, Batman had a protocol measure, right? Just in case something happens to the Justice League. And he had a way to neutralize everyone. Even Superman. If something happened where this information got out there and they were killing off the Justice League, Superman was gone because of Batman's protocol. The Flash was gone. Everyone was gone, bro.
Yeah, but that's just the story writer's just saying that. It doesn't mean that that it can happen. Like, what was the protocol?
But it did happen.
No, dude. Like, the only way Batman beats Superman is if Batman starts harming fucking innocent people. That's it. Batman.
No. Batman all he needs is a canister of kryptonite. Yep.
Yeah.
In gas form. And if Superman happens to try to attack him in such a way, it will just trigger this pressure, and the kryptonite gas will neutralize Superman.
Oh, see, this is where you're wrong, because Superman can travel at such a speed where he can demolish atoms. That's how.
Yes,
so that means before anything could even be reactive, Superman has already been in another fucking universe. You see what I mean?
I don't know if he,
when you look at the true potential of Superman, let me see. I'm trying to look at Superman's IQ.
Look, in every version of Superman, even in the last one, you saw Injustice where Superman was the bad guy, and Superman was trying to kill Batman. You saw that one? That movie?
No, I didn't see it.
That's when. Okay, so the movie was, the premise was that Joker killed Lois, and this turned Superman into the bad guy. He was like, forget it. Like, my reason for existence is over. I'm just gonna make everyone, I guess, bow down to me, since that no one else can do it. So he ended up becoming like this king. So what Superman did was, Superman reached out to another Superman, and that Superman ended up in a different dimension, ended up feeding that Superman. So there's every instance where Superman and Batman fought, Batman had the advantage.
It's not true, because
the movie isn't true?
And you're saying in every instance. The one where he doesn't kill Batman is only because Batman says his mother's name to him, and he wasn't even he stops from killing him. He could have snapped his
finger. Okay, you're talking about the live action. I'm talking about like the animated one based on the comics.
So one of them is like an orphan that had a good family that loved them, and the other one is Batman. So if one of them was, so like ridden or riddled with childhood trauma, that the mere mention of his mother's name would send them into like shock and tears. I think that person would be Batman and not Superman.
Did you watch any?
You want me to guess?
Nathan, did you watch any of the What If series? The Marvel What If series?
The Marvel one, I didn't see season 2, but yes, I saw all of season 1. I didn't finish season 2 though.
Well, I think it was season 1 when Ultron gets.
Yes, that was when he kept on doing it. Yes.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, in the scenario that you guys are talking about, Mike mentioned it earlier, but like, remember when he just literally shoots the beam out of his head and cuts Thanos in half? Like that, he doesn't even have to get close to Batman.
No, I agree. Listen, I agree with you. Superman does have that capability, but being able to utilize that against Batman, that's where I think it's going to be difficult. You might just think that Batman is just some mere human, but no, Batman isn't just a mere human. Batman is the human. In that world, he is the number one human. Smart, strength, all of that, man. He's like stronger than your average human, smarter than your average human.
No.
And he is like a...
Bane killed him, though. In the comic books, Bane killed him.
Nah, Bane broke his back. He didn't kill him.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's human versus superhuman.
I think that in all cases, we have it that Batman wins.
Yeah, yo, Tim, I don't know if you know this, but in the comic books, there is one of the comic books where Alfred, the butler, killed Superman. I'm saying, y'all don't know how to man.
That's a good one. You know who beat Superman too? Muhammad Ali. So there was a comic, right? And this is part canon. That what they did was they flew Superman to a different planet, right? And this planet had a particular sun. And this sun allowed him to be just like a regular human. And him being a regular human, right? Not having the superpowers, strength and all that, but he still knows his techniques in martial arts and all that other stuff. He went against Muhammad Ali in a boxing fight. And Muhammad Ali whooped that man's ass. If Muhammad Ali can do it, come on, Batman can.
But this was Superman not as super.
So look, I just asked ChatGPT. I said, in all logical possible worlds, who wins the majority of fights between Superman and Batman? And it says Superman does. Thank you.
Yes,
biased.
Nathan is just
It's
being,
not biased.
I don't know,
It's
country
just
and
smart,
everything.
logical.
Just let Nathan have this one.
Just ask it. Hey, ChatGPT, all of the comics that featured Batman and Superman, who won the majority of fights between Batman and Superman? You're going to say it's Batman.
With or without kryptonite?
What do you mean with or without kryptonite? Of course they're going to use something, the weakest Superman.
Batman would do it. He's strategic. He's got it done.
You see who agrees with you, Nathan?
This is a smart man. And I judge intelligence by humor. And I'm telling you this, Austin is like one of the most funniest people inside this room right now.
Knowledge, where are you with your sad reacts now? With your thumb. Thank you. Thank you.
Nathan, there's no reason to be mean.
Anyway. Let's see.
Hey, Nathan, Mike, serious talk. Happy Father's Day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Happy Father's Day. You forgot
I'm a
about
dad
that.
as well. I am also a father. Thank you.
We know. All black single moms are fathers.
Happy Transgender Father's Day.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Let's take another
Well,
angle. Nathan, who's Batman's toughest opponent compared to Superman's toughest opponent? Batman, I think it would have to be
The Joker.
The Joker, yeah, but some of those have actual powers, though, too. Well, not powers, but like Scarecrow uses chemicals, which can be
Yo, that guy Truth gave a nice breakdown of like Batman. And, yo, these real.
You saw when you watch all the live action. What's going on?
It does, right? It does, right?
Right. I grew up on the cartoon though, with Black Two-Face.
Batman, the Batman, right? Where you had like
The Batman.
and they had the intro. They had him on top of a building.
Also the Sega games. Everything. I grew up on all the Batmans. What do you mean? Talk to me like that. Matter of fact, I'm about to go get my Bane Kills Batman comic book.
Does it matter that my friend named his kid Bane? Does that matter?
After Bane, though?
Yeah, very, yeah.
I feel like it's honest.
Did anyone see the Instagram post where the guy said that, hey, if I get this amount of likes, my wife told me I can name my kid Goku? Did anyone see it?
I didn't see it, but I feel like that's done more than once, and that's amazing and also terrible.
This guy, the one that named his kid Bane, also wore jorts to the office, so you're in good company, Batman fan.
What's Jorts? Jorts?
But the cut-off kind, like he made them himself.
Charlie, this will probably blow your mind, but I wear a suit sometimes with rip curl flip flops. I don't wear shoes. I wear flip flops.
My God.
Wait, what if we do Bruce versus what's Superman's name?
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
Well,
we do Clark Kent versus
call out.
True, also that's true too. Then Clark Kent's definitely winning that, no? Because he's still got the strength. Oh, but Batman's a better fighter though.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, but he'd still be able to punch him. He wouldn't be able to break out all like the flying and the eyes. But
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Batman's still a better fighter. Bruce Wayne's still a better fighter though.
I know in the live action, Batman versus Superman, Batman won that fight. Just saying.
Why are we restricted to the writers who are sometimes going to have to surprise us with an unlikely ending?
Because the writers made the
Superman wins every
characters.
time.
No, the writers made the characters, right?
Yes, you can.
And then the writers' intentions told us that Superman cannot be Batman. That's the intentions of the writers, so we have to appeal to the writers. They are gods of the universe. So if they set it up in a way that Superman, as powerful as he is, can defeat Batman, that's what it is. He just have a souped-up car, right? Would have all this speed, and it can defeat a whole bunch of other cars. But when it comes up to this nice little Honda Civic, it can't match up. And Batman being a Honda Civic in that analogy.
Yeah, when it comes to Superman, there's two ways to kill him. One, block him off from the sun. Bam, keep him mortal. Easy to kill. Two, throw a rock at him. Bam, mortal. Easy to kill. I'm not hyping him up too much.
Okay, so if they had presented it that way, like, okay, Batman versus Superman, but they're blocked off from the sun, and this is, Batman's, he's down in a cave for a year without the sun. Now they fight. Okay, I'll give it to Batman. But they didn't do that, so they don't get credit for that. Superman wins.
Yeah, you know what Batman did? He sprayed him with some rock gas, and that was it. Bam, killed him. I could have killed him. I'm just saying, y'all gassing him, man. And if we're gonna keep it a buck, I think the strongest superhero is gonna be Sentry. I think Sentry will whoop Superman's ass.
You remember the debate they had about Thor versus Superman? And one of Superman's weakness back then, I don't know how it is in different universe, but one of his weakness was magic. He was weak to magic, bro. So they had Thor whooping Superman, bro. I I didn't see it, but at one point in time, they gave it to Thor, bro.
Yeah, but Thor was different though. Thor was
Thor
side.
no, Thor, Tim, come on. Thor have the power from the gods. They have the matches from the gods, and he also lived on the sun for. And he lived on the sun for I think it was like 10, 20, whatever, a crazy amount of years. He also lived on the sun, so that didn't work on him.
Bro, and they made Superman, and I don't know if you guys remember watching Lois and Clark, but even on Superman shit, they made him weak against lightning, bro. Remember that time lightning struck him, and then his powers went to someone else? If anyone remember Lois and Clark?
I don't remember that episode, but that was, yeah.
That was one of the best Superman back in the day, man.
Yo, a skunk has me cornered right now.
Oh, dang. Good luck, my brother. But speaking about that, Lois and Clark, wasn't that the adventures of those two guys? Lois and Clark,
Lewis and Clark? You mean not Lois?
Lewis and Clark, yeah, Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they did Lois and Clark, which was a Superman one, based on that.
That's not
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Y'all. I'm getting that wrong. I'm just making shit up.
Yeah, you just
I thought I heard that someplace. I thought I heard that someplace.
They had the Native American girl. I want to say, what was it, Sacagawea or something?
Sacagawea?
Pocahontas.
Oh, was it? I didn't want to say Pocahontas.